Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Sports with Brian Anthony. It is February 27th. It is TGIF, and this is your sports recap. We start off in the UFC. This Saturday, UFC 184 invades the Staples Center in Los Angeles for a live pay-per-view event, and the woman will take center stage as champion Ronda Rousey will be in action. She defends her bantamweight title against challenger Kat Zingano. Rousey enters the bout as the undefeated champion of 9-0, while Zingano was also undefeated at 8-0. This should be a solid fight in the women's division, but as far as the rest of the card on this UFC 184, you gotta admit it's pretty much a dud. Originally scheduled to headline the bout was champion Chris Weidman, but he pulled out last month due to injury. That left UFC scrambling to find replacements, which they were unable to do. Other notable fighters that are on the card include Fresno's very own Josh Koscheck and Valley favorite Mark Munoz. If you're asking my opinion about whether you should order the fight, I would suggest a big fat no. This is a waste of $60, and Dana White should have been smart and just place this on Fox Sports 1. There's no way with this fight card that the average UFC fan would be interested in ordering this fight. So it remains to be seen what kind of pay-per-view buys the UFC will get. Speaking of MMA, get this, Bellator MMA will be bringing back some old-time veterans. Yesterday, it was announced that Kimbo Slice will fight Hall of Famer Ken Shamrock on June 20th in St. Louis. The 41-year-old Slice went to the bout against the 51-year-old Shamrock with a record of 4-2, while his last fight was back in 2010. But it gets worse. Ken Shamrock, who I mentioned is 51 years old, enters with a record of 28-15, and his last fight was in 2006. So you can definitely say this will be a battle of the ages come in June. It's Frank Shamrock versus Kimbo Slice in Bellator. In Major League Baseball, with spring training in full swing, the Dodgers are in the news, as outfielder Andre Ethier isn't very happy. When asked about his playing time from reporters, Ethier responded by saying he either wants to start or he wants to be traded. But here's where things are getting tricky. Even with the trade of Matt Kemp, the Dodgers outfield is crowded. I mean, they have Yasiel Puig, they have Carl Crawford, and they have Jock Penderson, who's their top prospect, playing in the outfield. So there's really no room for Ethier. Plus, if Ethier wants to get traded, there's not many teams that are willing to take on his contract, as he is owed $56 million. So there may be some things brewing out there in LA. Speaking of LA, this time with the Angels, we have some sad news to report. Outfielder Josh Hamilton has recently admitted to relapsing. Hamilton, who has had his struggles with cocaine, says he started using again and actually admitted the relapse to the Major League Baseball. Now, word is coming out this morning that he is facing a 25-game suspension, so we'll see with that. But ultimately, there's prayers with Josh Hamilton as he's going to take some time to get his mind straight on that. In the NFL, expect more cuts to come along. As we mentioned earlier, some of the notable cuts this week, including A.J. Hawk from the Packers. Now comes word that former St. Louis Ram and now former Atlanta Falcon running back Steven Jackson was also cut from the Falcons. So he is a free agent this year, and he should be a solid pickup for some NFL team. In local sports, it wasn't a great night for the girls' basketball teams from Kings County, as the Hanford High Lady Bullpups were eliminated from playoff action, losing 67-21 to a tough Clovis West team. It was the worst loss of the season by the Bullpups and snapped their 18-game winning streak. The Bullpups end their season 21-7, but best believe they should be back next season, as they have a lot of young players who will be coming back. And shout out to Coach Doug Pitkin on a great season. Good luck in the future. The Lemoore High Tiger Girls was also eliminated from the playoffs. They lost to Independence of Bakersfield 57-33. The Tigers end their season with a record of 16-11. However, the boys will be in action tonight, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be a great game as the rivalry is renewed. Hanford and Lemoore is going to turn up a notch tonight at the East Campus as their Hanford boys will host the Lemoore Tigers in a Division II Central Section playoff game. The winner of this game will head to the semifinals, and if they win the semifinals, they'll definitely have a matchup in the Valley Championship, which is set for Selland Arena in early March. This game is sure to sell out, folks. So if you're looking at buying a ticket to tonight's game, doors will open at 5 p.m. and game time is set for 7. In local baseball action, the Hanford West Huskies defeated Madera South 6-3. Anthony Guzman picked up the victory and moved his record to 2-0 on the season. Meanwhile, Hanford High was also in action. However, their game was cut short by darkness. They ended up tying Madera 4-4, and that will actually stay a tie because they're playing in a tournament style format. Both Huskies and Bullpups are competing in the Central High tournament in Fresno, and we'll have an update on Monday how they fared. And a quick shout out to former Hanford High standout Madison Parrish. Madison plays for Pacific University's women's basketball team. She had her first collegiate double-double yesterday, scoring 13 points and 10 assists. So congrats to Madison Parrish. Pacific beat Santa Clara yesterday 87-75. And let's not forget, ladies and gentlemen, tonight it all goes down at the Fresno Convention Center, Valdez Hall. 559 Fights is live. Tickets are still available. You can purchase them at the door with doors opening at 6 p.m. Fights start at 7. It's going to be a great night of action in MMA tonight in Fresno. Ladies and gentlemen, that'll do it for our sports recap. I am Mr. Brian Anthony. We will see you on Monday. Have a great Friday, and like always, TGIF.